Obviously, we're all going to get a chance to hear from the President tonight, but over the past year, the Democrats here in Congress and the administration have pursued a reckless and partisan agenda, and the American people obviously are seeing the effects of that and paying the price for it. You got inflation that is a result of the rampant spending by Democrats, the worst inflation in 40 years, hitting the pocketbooks of every single American. You've got the worst border crisis literally in history, more attempted illegal crossings than any time we've seen in history, and neither the President nor the Vice President has found time to go visit our southern border. The withdrawal from Afghanistan, we all know, was a disaster. We have rampant crime in a lot of our cities across this country, largely as a result of this so-called defund the police movement that has captured the Democrat agenda across the country and here in Washington. And I would hope that in the State of the Union speech tonight that what the President does is pivots toward an agenda away from this partisan agenda and toward doing things that we can work together on for the good of the American people. These are serious times. The leader talked about what's happening in Ukraine right now. We need to do everything we can to support the Ukrainian people, and supplemental spending bill is in the works, of course, with the important point that Senator McConnell just made about the Democrats wanting to rob the defense top line for defense spending for Ukraine and treat humanitarian assistance as an emergency supplemental. Don't understand that at all. But the one thing I can tell you is that one area where we can really help the effort in Ukraine, help Americans in their pocketbooks, and help Europe and other countries around the world is to get America's energy production off the bench and back in the game. We have ample energy resources in this country, which this administration has placed off limits, and as a consequence of that, we have gas prices, hitting the new records here in the United States, and the United States going hat in hand to OPEC and other countries around the world to help fuel the energy demand that we have in this country. Completely unnecessary and uncalled for, and every energy dollar that the West pays helps fund Putin's war. So we need to get away from this dependence upon foreign sources of energy, Russian, OPEC, wherever. Assert America's energy independence, become an energy exporter again, and allow these countries around the world that are dependent upon Russia for their energy needs to turn to the United States. That can happen. All it takes is a change in the policies from those that this administration has employed so far that have hurt America's energy independence and force us to depend upon other places around the world, including Russia.